Before I ever took the job at Westfield Cemetery, I was a night technician for a radio station. Late hours, quiet environments. I was used to the solitude, so when the cemetery job opened up, it felt like a peaceful change, easy money for long nights. But I don't know how long I worked there, because the clocks never worked. Phones lost signal, watches froze. Even my car radio would reset the time. Every night at 3:13 a.m. Every night, I started leaving notes to myself, counting the days. I'd fall asleep during shifts, wake up outside on the grass, soaked in dew with dirt under my nails. One night, I followed the sound of bells. Not church bells, something heavier, deeper. They led me to the mausoleum in the far west corner, a place I was told never to enter. The door was open. Inside, rows of stone caskets. One in the center glowed slightly, faint red light from the cracks. Then I saw him, an old man in a gravekeeper's coat, dusty faded brown, with Westfield's emblem almost rubbed off, hunched over, whispering to the stone, like it was whispering back. He looked exhausted, eyes sunken, beard stained gray, as if he hadn't slept in years. He didn't seem to notice me at first. Then suddenly he turned and locked eyes. He said, "Don't forget to clock out," and I blacked out. When I woke, I was in the same spot, but it was morning. My watch, still 3:13 a.m. No one believed me, but every week, someone new quits Westfield, and every single one, their clocks never work right again. My name is Tom. I was hired as a temporary night watchman at Hillcrest Cemetery, 150 acres full of old graves and stories no one talks about. My job was simple: patrol the grounds, keep trespassers away, and make sure nothing strange happened. But one night changed everything in my life, something I have never witnessed before. It was cold, the kind of cold that seeps through your jacket and chills your bones. The moon was just barely lighting the path. Around 2 a.m., near section B7, an area with older, mostly unmarked graves, I heard something that froze me in place, a muffled scream. At first, I thought it was an animal caught in some wire, but the sound was too human. Faint, desperate, coming from beneath the fresh dirt of one grave. I knelt down. The soil was soft, like it had been disturbed recently. I couldn't ignore it. I grabbed a shovel from the shed and started digging. Dirt flew, my heart pounding louder with every scoop. The screams grew louder too, rough, scratchy, begging. Then my shovel hit wood. A coffin. I froze. The screams stopped. I pulled at the lid. It was loose, not nailed shut like it should have been. With shaking hands, I lifted it. Inside was a man, eyes wide open, pale and sweaty, mouth gasping for air. "I'm buried alive," he whispered. He told me his name was Michael, missing for weeks, but no one ever found his body. Someone had faked his death, and in a rush or out of cruelty buried him alive in an unmarked grave here in section B7. The coffin wasn't properly sealed. Whoever did this either didn't care or was too rushed. As I helped him out, he told me something worse. He'd hear scratching and soft noises beneath the ground, like something else was trapped down there with him. We ran for the gate as fast as we could. Michael vanished after that night. No one ever found him. No record at the hospital or morgue. But sometimes when I'm near section B7 late at night, I hear faint scratching coming from beneath the soil, and I know it's not just Michael down there. My name's Rehan. I'm 34, recently divorced. I'm from Indonesia and trying to rebuild my life, applying to every job I can find. I took the night shift at Eden Hill Cemetery after being laid off from my last job. It wasn't supposed to be forever, just a quiet job with no people, no stress. I just wanted to be alone anyway, so the cemetery job felt perfect. The cemetery was small, just over 300 graves, most of them old. A single road curved around the hill, and on top was the guard shed with dusty monitors that barely worked and a kettle for tea. I got used to the silence, but one night something changed. It was a Thursday, cold, unusually still. Around 3 a.m., I was watching the monitors, just sipping my tea, when I noticed movement near the tree line at the east end. The screen glitched, but I could make out a figure. A man. He wasn't walking. He was standing, still, facing the graves. I figured someone had wandered in, maybe drunk, maybe lost. I radioed in. No answer. The guy didn't move. For minutes. Just stood there. So I got my flashlight, locked the shed, and made my way down the path. The further I walked, the quieter it felt. No wind, no crickets. Just my boots, and the sound of my own heart. When I reached the east side, there was no one there. But something wasn't right. There were footprints in the mud. Fresh, deep, like someone had just been standing there. But they stopped suddenly. Like he never walked away. I turned back. That's when I noticed the shed light was off. I always left it on. I walked faster. When I got closer, I froze. Through the window, I could see someone sitting in my chair, back to the monitors. Just sitting. Still, I stood there in the dark, staring at my own room from outside. I don't know why I didn't scream, or run, or do anything. I just felt cold, like something inside me had dropped. I circled around the back, slowly, opened the door quietly. The chair was empty, but all the monitors were turned off, except one. It was the east camera. Same spot I had gone to. And on the screen, that same man, standing right where I had just been, wearing the same jacket I had on. Same height, same posture. I stared. The image was grainy, but the face, it looked like me. No blinking, no movement. I cut the power. I packed my things. I never showed up again. 2 days later, the cemetery called asking if I was okay, because someone had seen me standing out by the graves at 3 a.m. I was home, and I don't know who, or what, they saw. And I have changed all my contacts, and left that small town. I never looked back again.